Hello and welcome back. Today we're going to be doing something a little bit different, is we are going to be doing half mod spotlight, half talking about, authority and how I think the game can be improved to use authority in a more interesting way. The mod we're going to be talking about is Authority for Political Interactions, which was posted by 1230 James on Reddit, and I find this mod actually very, very, very interesting, and it's one of the mods that is just tweaking a very, very small thing, and I think it's a really, really, really nice change, and so I just kind of wanted to spotlight it and also talk about authority in general. And so authority currently, for the most part, has three uses that are going to be, the common ones, which is that you can use consumption taxes with them. You can add in a bunch of consumption taxes. You can float the authority, as we are doing kind of right now, for minus enactment time. And then you can also, you put in a bunch of edicts. And I think that there's some problems with these. Let's kind of talk about each one just very briefly. The edicts, these to me make a lot of sense. In a general sense, they make a lot of sense. However, for the edicts, they fall off as you acquire more states. They become less and less valuable. And so I think I don't have a suggestion for an improvement for them right now, but just like as you have more states, they obviously get diluted in value. And so, for example, if you start out as the Sikh Empire, where like 80% of your pop is in a single state, promote social mobility, giving you 25% education access is tremendous, but then it really, really falls off. The consumption taxes have always struck me as weird, because I don't think that this should be something that's authority gets spent on, but there should be some other metric that is pushing or denying you the ability to put in consumption taxes. In particular, as people on Reddit love to point out, it's very strange that you are, becoming more racist so that you can tax services. Like, as a play pattern, it doesn't quite fit in terms of flavor, although, this is something to put authority on. And generally, this is kind of one of the better things to put authority on, and that just doesn't necessarily feel that great, that this is, one of the better ones. And then finally, you can float the authority and get enactment time, which I think is probably one of the better ones. This is actually very, very useful if you already have minus enactment time. So, for example, if you have minus enactment time here from righteous government, when you get the first minus 25% enactment time, it reduces the amount of time that you need to spend by a quarter. And when you get the second one, so when you have righteous government combined with the full authority float, or at least the full, bar filled out from authority, then you get minus 50% enactment time, which is cutting, when you moved from 100% to 75%, that was a 25 cut. But when you move from 75% to 50%, that represents a 33% cut in time, right? And so they're increasingly useful the more of these you have. And so, it is interesting / good, I think, to, when you are righteous, maybe float authority sometimes, especially when the consumption taxes aren't that valuable. So this is kind of where authority is right now. What this mod does, let's just take a look, is it affects, or we'll talk about it 1 second here, it affects your ability to interact with the characters. Currently, there's like a 5-year cooldown on grant leadership and exile dissident, and this is actually pretty annoying because sometimes it gates you in weird ways, and you really wish you could have a little bit more options. And what this does is allows you to spend authority in order to override this sort of things. You still get your cooldown, but if you have you already used your cooldown, you can use authority exercise for exilement. So here, we do not currently have that modifier in the Soviet Union. So if we exile this gentleman and then invited him back, then we would be able to exile him again, which of course I'm sure he would be very confused, with the expense of authority. So let's just take a look at a description of the mod here. Interactions subject to authority, grant leadership, grant command, exile, and invite. The first use of these is free, as per vanilla, and will continue to remain free as long as you use them only once every 5 years. Subsequent uses incur authority cost. The base cost is 100. Using an interaction before the 5 years will reset the timer, and I think that, I can't remember if it gives you decaying, but I think it should be decaying. Negative interactions exile will scale up in cost linearly with the character's popularity. I think this is a fantastic adjustment. So, coming back into the game, this guy Kirill, if we exile this guy, it's going to not cost us 100 authority, it's going to cost us 165, because this guy, this gentleman, is so popular. He's love 65. And so let's come back into this. The negative ones will scale, and then it'll be the reverse if they're unpopular. So if he was minus 65, it would only cost us 35 authority to exile them. And so, you know, you will have a cap, I believe, of 100 authority and a floor of 0 authority and a ceiling of 100. Unlike vanilla actions, having an authority deficit does not prevent the use of the interactions. You can still use 5-year interaction or calculated cost of authority is 0. I'm not sure if I like this, but it's just the way it works. And all else remains the same. You can grant IG leadership if the IG is in government, no inviting unpopular, discriminated agitators, etc. So this, I think, is fantastic. So let's just take a quick look. We can exile Kirill. Now, we currently have our, you know, our thing, so we just exile him. But now, dear Kirill, you know, we're feeling a little schizophrenic. We missed you so much. We're going to invite you back, Mr. Kirill. Only show available. And so we're going to invite him back. Now, I think we do not have our cooldown. Oh, wait. We haven't used our cooldown, so let's use it. And now, if we exile him again, it should cost 165, you know, authority. And it costs, well, that was quite a bit more. It costs like 250 authority. So is that just killing our base value on modified by percents? Okay, well, fair enough. But now we can invite him back, and it will cost us, you know, here, let's just kind of do this. If we invite him, it will cost us 10 authority to invite him back because we don't have a cooldown, and I'm guessing that it is being modified. Oh, and he's loved because we exiled him. That's why. Okay. And so if we wanted to exile him again, we cannot. So we do not have 190 authority. So it seems you can't reduce among the caps. So he might have updated this since he posted to the Reddit. Fantastic. So I think this is really nice because, you know, very often you run into spaces where you would like to change stuff around and you can't, and getting caught under this 5-year cap, to me, is, it's a bit rough. But I think that this should also be extended perhaps a little bit further in a few ways to promoting and firing generals. You know, currently, if we have, you know, if we decide that we want to go against the armed forces and they're revolutionary anyways, it makes a lot of sense to fire off all the generals. You know, same for the landowners, this type of thing. And you can, you know, in the span of a day, affect the cloud of government by an enormous percentage just by, you know, retiring the commanders, hiring new commanders, and this sort of thing. And so what I think it should be the case is that there should be an interaction where instead of getting this to recruit, you can recruit a random general. And if you don't want to recruit a random general, you have to spend authority, which will decay over time. And also promoting a general or retiring a general also costs authority, which will decay over time. So, for example, let's say we don't have any authority. We certainly don't have much. We just would have a fourth option where it just gives us a random boyo. Perhaps one of these, or perhaps just completely random independent of these. And if we want to select, maybe it costs something in the neighborhood of 5 authority decaying, 10 authority decaying, this sort of thing, in order to prevent these mass firings and mass hirings, you know, at the drop of a hat to influence stuff immediately. You are instead rewarded by your ability to have a lot of authority, you know, by giving you an ability to actually massage clout in a meaningful way. And in my mind, this makes a lot of sense, because if you had a dictatorial, highly authoritarian government, they would be able to put, you know, particular people in charge. If you had a racist government, this would help for, like, you know, deciding who you want to have and this sort of thing. And it, like, is on theme. It kind of fixes kind of a little bit of a strange balance thing where, like, otherwise we could just recruit up, you know, as many industrialists as we want to promote them all the way to positively affect their clout. And, you know, if this costs authority to do, this is harder, but also rewards you from doing stuff that generates authority. And so this is one thing. And then finally, in addition to, you know, promote and fire generals and hire generals and this sort of thing, I would actually like to see another character interaction where, you know, similar to how you bolster and suppress, which is kind of the last use for authority, but I feel is one of the weaker ones. Similar to how you bolster and suppress industrialists or interest groups, it would be interesting if you could promote the career of individual characters, and maybe this pins them in the outliner, or you can have it pinned in the outliner for promoted characters. And what it does is maybe it costs 25 authority that decays over time. When these individuals, or when you untick it, it's a box tick. When you tick it, it costs 25 authority. When you untick it, it will decay the 25 authority down. And the benefit that it gives you is it gives popularity on this person, and also if all these changes were input, perhaps it unlocks sort of events for the particular general that you are trying to promote, or the particular politician you're trying to promote. And popularity does a few things. It increases the chance that they become the next leader of government, and if they're in government, it increases the attraction. And if they are the leader, which maybe you shouldn't be able to promote popularity of, this increases your authority, which was kind of the reason why you shouldn't be able to promote popularity. But it would be interesting if we could influence the careers of these gentlemen in a more longitudinal way, where maybe you don't want to grant them leadership, or but what you can do is instead, or you can't grant these guys leadership, but what you could do is you could promote their career, which makes it more, them have a lot higher popularity. The higher popularity increases the chance that they get into government, and this sort of thing, and also maybe unlocks more events with them, maybe unlocks your ability to get character traits faster, this type of thing, and would give a more immersive feel that also would make sense, in my opinion, from like a sort of simulation aspect, where if the government is pushing a particular person, that they would do better, especially in a highly authoritarian context. And so this is kind of the mod and the ideas I wanted to talk about for today. The name of the mod is Authority for Political Interactions. I saw it posted by 1230 James on Reddit, and so just wanted to give him a little bit of a shout out and, take a look at this mod. And this might be, I'm probably not going to play too much with the mod in terms of making videos, just as a result of you guys generally preferring vanilla gameplay. Interestingly, though, we have the bar kind of filled out with just 35 authority. So I think that what it's doing is it's killing our base authority amount, and it's not actually, taking authority in the exact same way that like the greener grass campaigns we have here in Perm is taking it. So let's cancel this greener grass campaigns and see that so the greener grass campaigns is just exactly taking the amount off from our pool, and this one seems to be taking unmodified authority. So it's taking authority off that's unmodified by percentages, and so this is maybe something that needs adjustment, I think, possibly, but I'm not sure. But I really love the idea of this mod, making it so that you don't feel super bricked, but you can instead invest a big cost, and this cost is going to scale, with the popularity or lack thereof of the individuals you're exiling, this sort of thing. But I'd like to see a lot more character interactions that are authority based. I think this would be really neat. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, feel free to like, comment, subscribe, and other than that, have a good day.